Barrier islands are not known for being long-lasting or filled with greenery. On Bald Head Island, there is an abundance of wildlife, and despite the surrounding ocean and dunes, there is a thriving rare maritime forest and salt marsh. Working in harmony, each organism has their function and beauty, making the island stand out among its contemporaries. A unique feature of the island is the salt marsh, home to many creatures such as birds, fish, snails, and of course, our fiddler and squareback marsh crabs. Fiddler crabs pop out against the sand due to their boxer glove-like pincer, and they are essential to the marsh ecosystem. Their function is to aerate the soil by digging burrows that release oxygen and help plants. These crabs are decomposers who break down dead and decaying matter into nutrients. If you notice, these hungry crabs are two different colors. The darker the color, the more sun it's soaking up. This is for temperature regulation. Not only is there diverse geography on Bald Head, but there are diverse species, especially when it comes to birds. Great egrets, tricolored herons, ibis, and little blue herons are mainstays at the Salt Marsh, Wildlife Overlook, and Ibis Sanctuary. Birds are the most active in the morning, so it's common to see many different species of birds gathered in the Overlook's trees at dawn. Like a switch is flipped, the birds all take flight and make their way to the marsh to forage for snails, fish, and crabs. Shortly before the sun sets, they flock to the Overlook again to roost all night. Only the glow of a flashlight can uncover their nightly get-togethers. As the sun sets on the island, nocturnal and crepuscular life begin to dominate. Deer, alligators, certain birds use special adaptations to survive and exist under only the glow of the moon and stars. Alligators have made themselves at home in the freshwater ponds of the island, but particularly on the golf course. Territorial in nature, you usually won't find more than a few large gators per pond, or else we'd have more stumpies on our hands. Gators hunt for food at night, and they can be detected under the light because of their red glowing nictitating membrane. Mother gators, called cows, care for their young for up to 2 years, protecting them from predators. Once grown, they will have developed into true opportunistic feeders. White-tailed deer, the smallest members of the North American deer family, are the only species found on Bald Head Island. With tan or brown coats during the summer months, they can be seen around almost every habitat on the island, from the dunes to the maritime forest to Middle Island and the salt marsh area to the golf course. These deer are crepuscular, meaning they are most active at dawn and dusk. While some deer may graze alone, deer are social and prefer to travel in herds. Some of these herds can even be segregated by sex, where you'll see groups of bucks like these venturing through the dunes for a night out, or does looking after the new additions to their family. Deer have developed large ears and excellent hearing to protect them from predators. To signal danger to nearby deer, this species will flick their tail up in a flash of white. When the night is at its peak, nesting sea turtles begin to arrive from the sea. Pushing through the crashing waves of shore, many mothers will either return home to Bald Head Island or have their first nesting experience. On her third nest of the season, this loggerhead knows the drill. Taking her time, she'll shift around and dig herself a proper place to nest. Once settled, contractions will begin, noticeable because of the way her hind flippers lift up. With turtles often laying more than 100 eggs a nest, this quiet process can take over an hour. Now, as she prepares to return to sea, she must ensure her nest is as protected as possible from the predators that roam the beach. Birds, crabs, foxes, and coyotes will be able to smell a nest if it isn't buried properly, and many will go hunting for them regardless. Humans and their dogs also pose a threat to both covered and uncovered nests alike. Scooping sand with her back flippers like a human can, she continues covering her nest and creating a false body pit to evade predators. It can take this mom's babies 20 to 30 years to fully mature and begin mating. Any female hatchlings she produces may end up carrying on tradition by returning to the beach where they were born.